Welcome to NBA Basketball. I'm Damon Bruce. We've got you covered here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It'll be LeBron James and the Miami Heat facing off against Roy Hibbert and the Indiana Pacers. And without any further ado, let's head to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew at the arena. I'll be back at halftime.
On to the next one. On to the next.
It's the Pacers in Indianapolis as we bring you an Eastern Conference contest. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports fans. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. All right, presented by State Farm, let's take a look at the Miami starting five. Mario Chalmers and Dwayne Wade, the tandem in the backcourt. Chris Bosh is out there with Shane Battier, and it's LeBron in at the 3 spot. And for Indiana, the front line, Danny Granger, David West, and Roy Hibbert. Hill and George, they're manning the back.
You know, the Pacers had that 4 or 5 year stretch where things went south after that brawl in the Palace. But if you look at their team now, the last couple of years, they've really built a strong young core. And it's paid off. They're becoming one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference.
Chalmers passes to Wade. Back to Chalmers. The feed now to Battier. Over Hibbert. Battier cannot hit. And Steve, you're right about Clark. If you're a Pacer fan, you have to like the direction this team is headed. A lot of talent, Clark, in a lot of spots.
Well, keeping all that talent will be a concern at some point, but right now they are young and have depth, so you can't ask for much more if you're a fan of the team. A lot of promise looking ahead.
West kicks to Hibbert. Covered by LeBron. Shoots it up. Converts on the jumper for the easy 2. Hibbert's got the opening field goal of the game for the Pacers. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what did you find out, Doris?
We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
All right, Doris. And he converts the layup.
I like the way they got the ball inside there.
First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter.
And for Roy Hibbert, no player has improved any more than he has. Having watched him from college at Georgetown until now, you got to be impressed with his dedication to remake himself athletically. It didn't come easily for him. When he arrived in college, he couldn't do 10 push-ups, Kevin. They said he had to learn to run. He's done a tremendous job to add mobility, strength, and confidence to his game. Mobility and strength to that big frame of his.
That's a great story.
It is.
That's good. West has got his second basket. The Heat have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Now Wade. Bosh, a screen on George. Wade kicks to Bosh. Rises up and throws it down. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, 5 times already the lead has changed.
And for Roy Hibbert, and you were just telling me this other day, Clark, he had to go through a diagnosis for asthma, which they did not know about until he went and had some thorough tests taken, and they addressed that. And he's mentioned before he hit the weights, he lifts all year long. Steve, he's been a wonderful project that has now blossomed into this rising star at that position.
Well, you love what he's done, Kevin, because at Georgetown, he really couldn't move. He was heavy, he couldn't run, but he's done so much physically, nutrition-wise, conditioning-wise. He's even added a personal chef to cook his meals, and you can see it now in his physique and the way he's performing. He's become a big-time player.
Here's Hill after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. 1:52 left to play in the first quarter. Hill dishes to Hibbert. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And guys, I think Roy Hibbert is one of the best stories from a year ago. First-time All-Star, He worked so hard to strengthen his lower body, and then you see the difference as far as what it meant to him at both ends of the floor. Really throwing his weight around inside, but also using that skill to step outside.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Tyler Hansbrough is checked in for West. Green comes in for George. And DJ Augustine subbed in for George Hill. He kicks to Wade. Kicks it to Allen. It's stolen by Hansbrough. Wade against Granger. 1:14 left in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. Gets the bucket. And Roy Hibbert out of Georgetown, 7-2. And even among NBA players, you see him walk out on the court and you think, man, is this guy big.
And, Kevin, he's gotten better at using that size, that big body of his, both offensively and defensively. Really did a good job of being able to defend and protect the paint aggressively without fouling as much as he did in his first 3 years.
Here's Augustine after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Now here is Augustine. Tight defense on him. Indiana needs to get a shot off. The Pacers have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. And it's George in for Danny Granger. And a new group in for the Heat. Chris Bosh is checked in for Haslam. Mattier comes in for Rashard Lewis. LeBron, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Chalmers in for Norris Cole. Here's Chalmers. Allen for the 3. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Allen's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Augustine off the pick from Hansbrough. He got it up. Oh, he put it down!
It'll count.
What a shot!
I think that one was
at
good.
The buzzer!
What a way to close the quarter. Huge 3 right there.
Yeah, and that's a deflator for the other team.
It's a tie game in Indiana. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Pacers so far, guys.
And I thought the key in that first quarter was the offensive aggressiveness. They attacked the rim and got to the foul line.
And I sense they're really feeling good about playing at home, taking advantage of the home court.
So with Bosh on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Ray Allen and LeBron fill out the wings. Lewis is out there with Haslam, and it's Cole in at the point. Now here is Hill, looking for his first bucket of the game. That puts them in the lead. Hill's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Pacers.
Well, when you have the talent that Miami has, Kevin, you figure that kind of team is going to be pretty formidable, whether they're playing at home or on the road.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, the Heat last season decided to revamp their offensive strategy, playing a more free-flowing style to try to take better advantage of their quickness and playmaking ability. Chris Bosh said, "We're not just going to go out there and play pickup, but we are going to get into our spacing, make the right cuts, read each other, and just go out there and play." LeBron James said, "It suits our personnel. It's been good for us to just read and react. No matter if it's a make or a miss, we want to get the ball up the floor as fast as possible." Kevin?
Well, Doris, when you've got that kind of talent and IQ, playing on instinct can certainly be effective. Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. David West, he's checked in for Hansbrough. Granger comes in for George. And it's Green in for George Hill. Augustine passes to Green. Right side, Green. He feeds it to Mahinmi, and that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. Like you mentioned, Miami very good on the road because they just knew how to put up points. And Steve, I guess that's been always what it comes down to. Who's going to score the most? But on the road in particular, you got to score a lot.
You got to be able to score, and you've got to be able to defend. And Miami did both of those things last year. Obviously, an incredibly gifted team with LeBron and Wade, but third in the league in field goal percentage offense, and they were able to go out on the road and score enough to win.
So it's the Pacers now. The Heat getting the bucket. Stolen by Bosch. And now it's Allen. Running. He can go all the way. Gets the bucket. Allen's got 5 now.
This is an interesting matchup. Neither team has been able to get an edge.
I tell you what, it's been enjoyable to watch this one. I mean, they haven't given an inch to each other, and neither side is backing down in this one.
Shot is blocked, but they get it back. And Hansbrough kicks to Augustine. Hansbrough is screen on Chalmers. 4 on the clock. Augustine dishes to Hibbert, and that one's good. 7 points in the game.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
Now here's LeBron. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Battier cannot hit.
Well, guys, I thought acquiring Shane Battier was a terrific move for the Miami Heat, both on and off the court. You know, on the court, he's a great shooter and a smart defender. Makes that corner 3 to space the floor. And then in the locker room with his maturity and his leadership and his ability to handle the media, a really good role for Battier in Miami.
And not much resistance on that jam.
Yeah, defensively, you're right. Not a great sequence.
Well, they lost track of him, and they paid the price.
LeBron kicks to Bosch. Back to LeBron. He passes to Chalmers. There's the dish to Allen. Over George. There's Allen. That's good on the assist by Chalmers. That's 7 points for Allen. Stevie judged on the presence of Shane Battier, a very cerebral player. Enjoys that part of the game. He did at Duke. He does in the NBA. He said he looks at basketball, Clark, as a sort of chess match.
And I think that's been his edge, Kevin, his approach, his mental approach to how he sees and thinks the game.
Mahinmi's checked in for Indiana. Hill comes in for DJ Augustine.
A great move to the hoop, capped off with the finger roll. He's an outstanding finisher in close.
Now here's LeBron. Back to Lewis. 18 feet out. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, if you had to guess who the highest paid player in the NBA was, you might guess Kobe Bryant, but you probably couldn't figure out who's number 2. That's Rashard Lewis. Got that big contract while putting up some big numbers in Seattle years ago. Orlando gave him that large deal, but hasn't quite been able to live up to it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. David West, he's checked in for Hansbrough. And it's Green in for Paul George. West setting the pick for Hill. Makes the lead pass. And West backs in. Puts it up from 7. And that one's good. West has got 6. The Heat trail by 3. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. LeBron against Granger. Floats a runner. Gets it to go. LeBron's now got his first basket.
You're going to have a heck of a time finding any flaws in his approach to the game offensively.
Here is Hill. From outside the arc, the shot is off. And we're through 2 here and a good one. Pacers lead by 1. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to 2K Sports. It's been a great Sunday of basketball so far. In Indiana, the Pacers in a close one against Miami. A dramatic advantage in the paint. They're getting right in close and converting the kind of buckets they want. Roy Hibbert playing well in the first half. He's got 7 points and is also sharing the ball, picking up assists as well. Also, Miami looking good in the first half. A dominating performance offensively. They're getting everything they want. A valuable contribution so far by Ray Allen. And they've got a big boost from Dwayne Wade as well. And that'll be it for us here. Thanks so much for joining me. Now it's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. We hope to see you around next time.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. You have to like what we're seeing from Roy Hibbert.
That's been nothing but positive for this team. The way he's been really selective with his shot making, he's been very unselfish. I think this has been an efficient performance for him.
I agree with you, Steve. Very few questionable decisions, if any, from him, as he has always looked for the best shot every trip down the floor. I mean, I like the fact that he's judicious in his approach.
George, Granger, and West are 2 through 4. Roy Hibbert is out there with George Hill. That's the Pacers 5. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Guys, LeBron James, all-defense first team for the last 4 seasons. He wasn't always known as a great defender, but it's something he really worked at, and he went so far as to say, I love defense much more than I do offense. I take pride in that side of the floor. And Kevin, with his incredible athleticism, he can really guard at least 4 positions out there.
Yeah, he can do it all. Thanks, Doris.
Well, what makes LeBron so great is that he's dominant at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can guard any position. I think his defense gets overlooked at times, but he is really dominant at that end of the floor. They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Hibbert. Good. The assist goes to Hill. 11 points for Roy Hibbert.
Offensively, just hammering away in the paint.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball.
Well, the Pacers continued to improve as a team last season, and part of that was just being a solid team in front of their home crowd. The Pacers had an excellent home record in Indianapolis, and that was one of the reasons they were able to fight their way into the playoffs.
Here's Hill after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Three-pointer, and Granger with the basket on the assist by Hill. Hill's got 3 assists now in this one.
Good start for this offense. They're shooting 3 of 4 now from the field, so offense in a good groove.
Now here's LeBron. Battier outside, takes a 3. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Battier's got 5. And for the Pacers at 23-10 at home last season, most years you have a winning percentage like that at home. Clark, you're in good shape.
Yeah, and an improvement from the season before, too, Kevin. I mean, just a few extra wins at home can take you from being the 8 seed, as they were in 2011, to all the way up to the 3 seed, which is where they were last year.
West passes to Granger. 6 to shoot. Over James. Granger misses. The Heat with the lead. And here we go. Fast break. LeBron's got it. Here's Chalmers. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
I like Chalmers a lot, Kevin. He's a nice defender, solid player. And offensively, he's going to knock down the open shot, generally take good care of the basketball. So a good, solid player who can be a complimentary guy to his teammates.
And that's what you want from your secondary players, Steve. Guys that give great hustle, have court awareness, know the playbook, know where they should be, follow everything to a T. A guy who doesn't need the ball in his hands a whole lot in order to keep their team going.
Well, I don't know how many of you knew this, but George Hill is playing for his hometown Pacers. Hill is an Indianapolis native, played college ball just a few miles away from where he plays now.
He has a built-in following.
Yep.
Here's Hill. The Heat getting the bucket. There's a good screen. Dishes it to Mahinmi. Can they get it? Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got 4 assists in the game.
You know, it is really hard to miss shots that close to the basket.
And Clark, when the Pacers traded to get Hill from San Antonio, I'm sure that hometown connection, like I was just saying, played a role.
Yes, it did.
Well, Steve, I think that makes it a little more comfortable when you go to a new team.
Yeah, I think so. And also the Pacers were looking for players who could connect with the fans in their community. So George Hill already had that connection. So really a nice fit. And I think that's a trade that worked out well for both teams. Kawhi Leonard going to the Spurs and Hill with the Pacers.
Now here is Augustine. And that one's good.
That's 4 of their last 5 buckets now coming in the paint area.
And they're in attack mode right now, barreling in there with bad man intentions.
Here's Wade. He's got 8. Lobs it up there. Tipped. There's 45 seconds left in the third. Granger against Allen. There's a screen. Granger misses.
This game very well could come down to a few possessions, and if that's the case, rebounding could play long.
Yeah, in a close game like this one, securing the ball is so vital. Good foul there defensively. Make him earn 2 points from the line.
I agree with you. I mean, no freebies. Don't give anybody an easy opportunity. Make good use of your foul there.
Indiana making some changes. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Mahinmi. West comes in for Danny Granger. And it's George in for George Hill. And then for Miami, Rashard Lewis. He's checked in for Bosch. Mattier comes in for Ray Allen. And it's Norris Cole in for Mario Chalmers. Now here is Augustine. Outside for George. Augustine dishes to West. The basket is good. The assist from Augustine. Augustine's got his 4th assist in this one. The 11-footer. Nice jump shot. Good. And the Heat lead by 4.
And the pace has really ramped up in the second half.
Steve, I like the re-energized effort.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the 4th. And now our sideline reporter Doris Burke has a report on our Sprite uncontainable game. Hi, Doris.
Hey guys, well it was the stretch by the Heat that garners the uncontainable game today. Something must have been said about defense at halftime because they came out and locked things up in the 3rd quarter. A great effort on D, and it has them sitting pretty here in the 4th.
Okay, Doris, thank you. And that was quite a run, guys. That made a big impact on where we are right now.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say, Kevin. It was a major turning point. You know, they really hit on something that in the blink of an eye had them scoring almost at will.
Well, you've got to share the credit for that kind of run. I mean, you can't just say it was all about offense. There was some stingy, stiff defense being played, too.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the 4th quarter. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Haslam and Bosch are up front. Chalmers is out there with Allen, and it's Mattier in at the 3 spot. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Tyler Hansbrough is checked in for David West. The Heat also changing it up. LeBron comes in for Udonis Haslem. And Dwayne Wade is subbed in for Ray Allen. Hill. Shot's good.
You know, Kevin, they were a step late on their defensive rotation, and that helped them get right to the rim.
Chalmers against Hill. Chalmers off the pick from LeBron. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. Back to Chalmers. Outside Hill. Right side Hill. Hibbert with a screen for Hill to tie it up. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Hansbrough, that's good. It's a tie ball game.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Here's LeBron. Granger with the defensive effort. The Pacers have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the 4th quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Chalmers against George. George gets a screen from Hibbert. Now, here is George. D right on him. And then Hibbert with the dunk.
What a great game. This looks like it's going to go right down to the wire.
Well, you talk about what happens in close games. Mistakes are magnified. Both teams have to be very careful down the stretch here.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He's looking for whatever they have left in the tank. He said, I know it's been a hard-fought game, but now's not the time to leave anything in reserve. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I expect you to be going all out, full speed. Guys?
Now, here's Wade. The feed to Battier. LeBron outside. LeBron, left shot. Here's Bosch. And their work on the board pays off with the second chance points. Bosch has got 4 points in the quarter.
And a really poor job boxing out there, guys. A momentary lapse in concentration, I think.
And here is Hill. West a screen on Chalmers. Hill passes to West. He's guarded by Battier. And it's good with time running down in the shot clock.
Just an unbelievable display of offense here today.
Well, it seems like every shot that goes up finds its way to the hoop. I mean, every player is sharp and on target.
1:57 left in the fourth. A drive by Wade. The shot is off. Excellent D there from George. The Pacers have gotten every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go in. That's 5 in a row to start the quarter. Hill against Chalmers. Hill dishes to George. And stolen by LeBron. The finish. Oh, the one-hand jam.
Throwing it down with one hand and making it look easy.
Easy, and Fonny just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yep, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Sprite. So it's the Pacers now. The Heat getting the bucket. Hill with it. Gives him the lead pass. Shot clock at 5. From deep, George. That's good. And the Pacers lead by 3.
Wow, huge shot. Listen to this crowd.
That sounds like a rock concert in here.
Well, they've been waiting to explode all game, and they finally got a reason to do so.
Now here's Wade over George. Wade missing again. And it's Indiana's ball. They're on a 13-4 run. 43 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now Hill. Hibbert with a screen for Hill. Inside to Hibbert. And stolen by Chalmers.
Well, they're still within reach, but they need a hoop. Oh, look out! Down the road! Wow!
That's taking it strong right there.
Yeah, finishing in style.
You can feel a sense of anticipation when he heads for the hoop because that's what he can do.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Sprite. Now here's West. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Granger gets a screen from West. From 10 feet out, Granger misses. And the Heat call time here. They're losing by 1. 8 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, and you've got the luxury here of running a play, so you want to do something that you're very comfortable with.
Absolutely, Steve. I mean, no need to panic whatsoever. I mean, they're in a very good spot right here.
Very close to a three-point play right there.
Yeah, that didn't go down, but those are exactly the plays coaches like to see.
And so is good on both free throws, and that gives them the lead.
You know, the tension could not be any higher right now. He looked like he was shooting free throws with just a cool customer.
On the wing, George for the win.
Wow!
What a play, and that seals the deal.
Simply said, clutch. Really clutch. Big time clutch.
So a close game sees Indiana take this one. Clark, it was anybody's game right to the very end.
Yeah, it was. The coach is happy with the outcome, but maybe not so much with the margin.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now we present the Jordan Player of the Game, George Hill.